worst drought in living memory. Threatens the world's olive oil supply. That's me. I use olive oil all the time. I do use the olive oil. Okay, Waffle House Brawl, Santos lies more. It looks like those notifications are going out. I'm just going to look on my phone really quick.
I got mine.
And I got mine. 1, 2, 3, 4 notifications deleted. Fantastic. Celsius is preparing to file a motion later this week requesting an extension. Yeah, fuck you. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Gush. Gush, I wish I could take that back. Let's see. Let's see if more notifications go out. Oh boy, I messed that up. Celsius is preparing to file a motion later this week requesting extension of the bar date, which is the deadline to file a claim. Oh, until February. Oh. Well, that's nice. My bad. I didn't mean what I said then. They're actually making it easier for their customers. Our goal is to provide account holders with additional time to file any proofs of claim. That's great. That's great. Wow, thank you. Totally unexpected after you stole from all of us. I said, wow, thank you. Totally unexpected after you stole from all of us. Because you're thieves. Roger, Josh G, hello. Let's refresh that rumble. Whoa, look at all those rumblers. Hey, guys. Look at all of you. Hello, and we are almost in double digits right off the bat. So we got some news stories to cover quickly and just get them out of the way. The order of the title, we'll just go down through that. So the title is Waffle House Brawl. There was a Waffle House Brawl. And you guys may have heard about that. The video went viral, so I figured I'd cover it. People were throwing chairs, getting crazy in the Waffle House, and some woman was like catching the chairs like a ninja. So I don't know. I don't think we have to show the video. I haven't even seen it myself. I'm not really that interested in it. Not really interested in seeing a bunch of people act like, act subhuman. So, if they got your order wrong at Waffle House, here's an idea. Hey, get over it. Maybe order something else or go to another restaurant. Don't pick up chairs and start hurling them at the staff. Jeff Lund is here. Yes. Okay, great. Let's see. Where are we at here? Where are we at? Are we in the double digits yet? Did we make the double digits? We are in the double digits. Hey, look at us. That's good. That's good. Yes, double digits. Holly! Hello, Holly. Why isn't the chat reading back? Oh, that's right. I turned it off yesterday. I turned off the chat read back, so it might just be up to me. I'm not going to have the read back anymore, I think. So, that way, if anybody comes in and says anything inappropriate, it doesn't get spoken out on my channel. Because yesterday, somebody from Twitch literally came in to my live stream and started explaining how to make something that you're not allowed to talk about making on the internet. And I started talking over the top of it so people couldn't hear it, and I blocked it and got it off the screen and blocked that guy. But at the same time, I don't want to have to be like if I get up to go to the bathroom or take my dog outside, I don't want to have to worry about it. So we might just turn the chat read off, because it's fun, but at the same time, there's just too many what's out there. So insert your favorite curse word there. Time to pause. Oh God, this Dr. John Campbell, he's such an idiot. He's such a moron. I looked into a few things this morning. I don't really want to talk about that stuff. What else do I want to talk about? I don't want to really say much of anything, actually. We'll just go through the news stories. What was after the people behaving badly? It was Santos lies more. Yeah, though. So they caught Santos with even more lies. That guy that's already been elected as a you won't share the truth. Tyler Martin. Tyler Martin, I blocked you from my live stream before. I have no problem blocking you again right now. It's just going to take me a second to do it. But I'll go ahead and I'll give you a second if you want. And you think you got some truth that I'm not sharing, go right ahead, because that's all I ever talk about on here is the truth. So if you've got something that you don't think I'm being honest about, go ahead, Tyler Martin. What do you mean I don't share the truth? Go ahead. Floor is yours. Open up your fat mouth and let us all know what you're trying to say. All right? All right, you little pansy bitch? Kind of curious what you got. Let me know. All right? This isn't my show. You goddamn right it's not your show. It's my show. So, if you got something you want me to say, go ahead and say it. Otherwise, you could shut your fat fucking mouth up. How about that? You got something you want to bitch about? Hey, man, spit it out. All right? Like your mama's pussy spat you out. Like the fucking, like the cunt turd that you are. Go ahead. I gave you the floor. Let me know what's on your mind, buddy. Since I won't share the truth. Go ahead. I like that cunt turd. I just came up with that one. Do you guys like that?
Good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You're a cunt turd.
Cunt turd.
Mm-hmm. I come up with fantastic names. Fantastic names. Is that glass or stainless steel? It's this? It's glass? My bong? Okay, are you talking about these guns? They're stainless steel. $22 away from 1,222. That's our number. Maybe we'll get up there with Ethereum today. Okay, I guess Tyler Martin pushed out like we knew he would. What you got, Harles? What you got, Harles? Did you step on a piece of glass? Be careful. Harles? Holly's like, ha. She likes the muscles, the stainless steel muscles. I'm like a T3000. I'm like a T3000 Terminator issue. Here's a seed. Here's another seed. Hello. Whoa. One. Finally seeing the seeds in here. I knew if I did this I would see some seeds. I dropped that one. Hold, please. Two. There's two seeds. Great. There's a third one right here. But this one is an undeveloped seed. It's white. That one probably won't sprout. Nay, be patient. Tyler is still typing all the truth he has for us, right? What are you even trying to say, you freaking idiot? You know, it's so funny a guy's name is Tyler, too. Because that's such a little boy's name. Oh, come on, Tyler. Come on, Tyler.
I don't know why people are scared to type something. They don't even know who they are. They just type it. What do you have to say? Like, what is? Why are they scared to type?
I guess, dude, maybe I got him with that cunt turd, and it just got him so upset.
I think
Couldn't even fucking
I think
type. He got so upset, his fingers started shaking. He had to shut off his computer and go cry in the corner.
imagine people like that. Like, how would they do it? Like a confrontation in real life. Like these people have never had a confrontation.
No, no, they couldn't handle a confrontation in real life. You know, I can just imagine. I wouldn't mind cleaning that out, but I think I'll survive. Let's put these seeds, though. I want to put these seeds in with the other seeds, man. Put these seeds in with the other seeds, man. I got lots of seeds, man. God, there's got to be close to 50 in there. Gorilla Glue, son. What else? Wow, man, Rumble went down to 1 viewer? What happened on Rumble? Was it because I said Santos is a liar? And all you Republicans got all cunted up? Okay, whatever. Come on, Republicans. Come on back. Come on back to the show, all you little Republicans. Come on. Cunt on back to the show. How do I block? Can I block this guy's channel? I wonder if you can block a channel so I don't see his bullshit anymore. Share, subscribe, embed. No, there's no block. That sucks. That's too bad. Block that fucking dumb cunt so I don't have to see stupid fucking uploads anymore. One person watching on Rumble. Dude, we had like 6 or 7 people in there. Now it's 1. All right. Well, I guess I will start packing this bowl. God, I hope I'm not picking up a seed in here. Okay. I think we're good. Seven and 1, really? Huh. Okay. This is what we'll do. We're going to take a little break. All right? And I'll be back in less than 2 minutes. Everybody just chill out since there's 8 people watching total. Maybe more people show up. We give it a little time. Weasel's laying in the sun. All right, so. Yeah. Worst drought in living memory threatens the world's olive oil supply. Okay. We covered that. What else do we got in the title? Russia attacks. Where can I listen to your Twitter space? Oh, Turbo Jerko, thanks, buddy. Thanks, bro. Thanks for listening to the Twitter space. Hell yeah. Oh, you thought it was interesting? Thank you, man. Billy's great, isn't he? Billy Ballantyne's awesome. He just needs a platform, you know? And, yeah. I'm sad that he doesn't do it anymore. Because he entertained a lot of people, man. But yeah, you know, all of you could have joined us in that live on Twitter if you would just follow me on Twitter and turn on notifications. And then when I start up a space in Twitter where we all can talk with each other, you could join that space with us, man. It was literally just me and Billy. That's it. It was just me and Billy. But we had a great conversation. And we recorded it, and it's there for all of you guys to check out. I'm so glad that Turbo Jerko went and actually saw it and checked it out. Thank you, buddy. You're the only one to say that to me, man. Thank you. So, I just try to get people on Twitter, man. Just trying. So, start hitting up people a day in advance. I mean, I never know. I mean, I'm like a spur of the moment kind of guy. I understand, you know, it's good to schedule shit like that. But I never know if I'm going to have time, you know, like today, I'm not going to know if I'm going to have time at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock because I don't know what's going on with this life. So, you know, I've got my situation, you know, I've got personal stuff going on around here that that takes priority. And then when I have time, I can do this, you know, it's hard for me to schedule show times. That's like I missed the morning show this morning, you know, had stuff I had to do. But I mean, I have a feeling that even if I told everybody to show up, because I tell people to follow me on Twitter and they won't do that either. I mean, if they're not following me on Twitter, they're not going to come to a space because they won't even like my fucking tweets. How am I going to get them to join in an actual space? You know? Fuck. I got all this packed though, so I'm ready. I'm really not in a great mood right now because I'm just not feeling very supported. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little upset right now. When I realize no one shows up when we do shit like that. Oh, space chat at this time. Then when you start the space, they all get a reminder. Well, if they're following me on Twitter with notifications on their phone, they don't, bro. They don't. I don't have people following me closely on Twitter. You know, Jiminy does, Cyber Reload does, Nick Brown does.
So I mean, I don't know why they don't just, you know, it's simple. I didn't have a Twitter account until I followed you. I know I did, but I had to react.
They don't do it because they don't want to. That's why, Jiminy. They don't do it because they don't want to. If they wanted to do it, they would go and do it. You know, it says a lot about my audience, and my mother has pointed out to me in the past, you know, if these people really did love you and support you, they would show that.
Yep. They do something. Actions speak louder than words and all that.
Yeah. I bet you I could put a title that said, you know, something really bad happened to me, you know, something, you know, whatever. But I bet you everybody would show up just to, you know, to roll around in my anguish, you know, just to soak it all up.
Yep.
You need to see the Waffle House Brawl. Okay, I haven't even seen that yet. Okay, we'll find it. Three minutes left.
No, they still Bro, what the?
Okay, let's just start, of course. You know what I'm going to say. Some idiot doesn't know how to turn their phone sideways when they're making a fucking video on their cell phone. Wow, you're an idiot. Turn your phone sideways. That's the first problem I have with this video already. Turn your phone sideways, get the whole picture in there, fucking Mr. Goddamn Profile shot. What are you doing? What do they call that?
Yeah, profile.
Profile? It's landscape. You're supposed to be in landscape. What are you doing? And here's another thing. Why does your fucking phone have to be sideways to go landscape? Why can't you just press a button? Why can't you film landscape while the phone is upright? You know, what kind of a re-engineer thought that up? Oh, you gotta turn the phone to film it this way. Why? Why? Why not just have a button? Landscape or portrait? Landscape or portrait? I want to hold the phone like this. I want to hold the phone like this, but I still want a wide shot. Why do I, it's the same lens, you fucking idiots. These are the morons that make our smartphones for us. Think about how dumb that is. Think about how dumb that is. Okay, it's good. It's good because, we haven't even gotten to the fight yet. We're just talking about some idiot that doesn't know how to take pictures with his fucking cell phone. Some fucking idiot. Let's get to this fight, though.
Bro, hell no. Bro, I just want my waffle, bro. Oh, shit. You wildin', guys. Oh.
These are drunk motherfuckers.
You wildin'.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Oh, shit.
She's throwing shit. Oh, food fight. Oh, my God. Did you see her swing? Holy shit, that girl knows how to fight. You just fucked with the wrong clerk.
Oh, they still. Yo. Oh, my God.
That guy said, white girl can fight.
Oh, my God, bro.
White girl can fight. Oh, yeah.
You about to go to
Look at her. Say, bring it on. Bring it on. Throw that stupid chair at me. Oh, I love this girl.
Hey, get over this counter and you're going to jail. Get out the store.
This is another fight. This is another Waffle House fight. Dude, they're going to take over the UFC, bro.
Hey, get out now.
Like that girl's trying to wreck the store, man. Oh, they threw the shit back at her. Pick it back up, throw it back at her. Oh, this is great. This is phenomenal. Dude, they got deep fryer grease back there. I wouldn't be fucking with them, bro. If they pick up a cup of hot grease and throw it on you, you are done. Oh my God. There's deep fryers back there. You're going to jail, bitch. They're showing all these fights that happen in the stores now. She's getting upset in a McDonald's. He slapped her in the face. You see that shit? Oh, shit. Don't slap her. She gonna come get you now. This guy's trying to keep his mask on his face. This old guy. He's trying to protect the restaurant. Wow, this old man. Look at this old man stand up to this girl. He's doing a really good job. He's not hitting her. He's just holding his arms up, making it hard for her. Oh, what a nice old man. It'd be something like my grandfather would do. Was in the Matrix? Oh, that's awesome, bro. I love that girl. She was all like, throw that chair at me, bitch. Throw it at me. I'm going to beat your ass. I know how to swing. Did you see her like this, man? As soon as she got on that girl behind the counter, her arm was behind her head, swinging down on that girl like this. I was like, that's how you punch somebody.
50 people are reported dead. Nearly 30 of those
You use the power of inertia and gravity. She was using all of the world's powers at her fingertips to beat that girl. I was like, yes. Just like the dude who dragged that guy over the escalator rail and threw him down on his back. That was awesome. He did it with one arm. he just picked up that scrawny little bitch and just threw him down. And the guy's like, dude, I'm making a video. And he's like, oh, okay. It's like, you just made me famous, bitch. Everyone was like, dude, when that guy told you he was making a video, you should have just kept beating his ass. Who cares what the reason was you touched my girl? You touched my girl, bro. You're going to get beat up. You just gave me a license to fucking destroy your face. So, somebody hits you, you get to hit them back. Isn't it great? Somebody touches you, you get to hit them back. Welcome to America. That's the way it should be, too. The quickest way to deter people from acting like morons is to treat them like the moron they are as soon as they do it. As soon as they do something, boom, it's like Pavlov, boom, electric shock therapy, boom, as soon as you do something wrong. Somebody's going to smack you in your face. Somebody's going to slap you. Somebody's going to throw you on the ground. Somebody's going to knock you the fuck out, whatever it is. Boy, that's how you teach people. And let us fight these motherfuckers, Let us throw them down and fucking break their faces. And then maybe some other little cunt that's watching a TikTok video, he'll think twice before he pulls his cell phone out and tries to touch some girl on her face, Love it. Love it. Keep it coming. Definitely. The one in your DMs is insane. It was a different angle, and it's all on camera. He could have beat the fuck out of that guy. Canada, if someone breaks in your house with a gun and you shoot them, you go to jail. Well, I don't live in Canada. That's why I live in Florida with the castle doctrine. And if somebody breaks into my house and I kill them, they die. And I laugh. That's it. Welcome to Florida. Don't break into my house. I've got big bullets in my gun. It's hilarious. People are dumb. People are dumb. And they need laws like this, like the castle doctrine. Every state should have them. Squish Squash 030. Hey, all for your stream on Squish Squash. We call it cannabis. I know it's a lot harder to spell out all of those big words. But understand, the word pot was used for a toilet before it was used to refer to cannabis. So, it's disgusting. I took a shit on the pot today, then I wiped my ass. I threw the paper with my shit on it in the pot, and then I flushed the pot. Right? I'm going to smoke some cannabis. Can we do that? Do you see the difference there? Do you understand now why that word is used to put cannabis down? Because it's a negative term. You shit into a pot, right? Is that fair? Squish Squash 030, let me know. I know that might be a little too much. That might be a lot of information for you to process before you get your bong hit in, but I implore you, grab your bong and smoke along. Am I going to smoke that crap? Yeah, I'm going to smoke it right now. Yeah, crap, right? Old timers called it weed, and I hated that shit. Yeah, I know, because weed means a useless plant. All of these little cool terms people think they're using, all of these terms end up just, working against us. If they're negative terms, they put cannabis down. Even the word marijuana is a racist term, and you shouldn't use it. I called, some people that I was talking to some people about it, and they use that word, the word marijuana, and I'm just like, wow, you guys are just so fucking ignorant. You're racists and you don't even realize it. Here, let's get this off the screen. So, we covered the fight, which was hilarious. What else do we got? That was it. That was the whole title, man. We got it all. We got all the news covered today. Great. So now we can smoke. And let me close this window behind me. God, it sounds like you've been waiting or something. You've been waiting to smoke, buddy?
I've had a joint in my mouth for about 10 minutes.
No law regarding... Dude, thank God you went live. I sunk down to going to work. Break time. Bro, I know. Listen, Turbo Jerko heard our conversation on Twitter yesterday, bro. He really enjoyed the conversation. So I just wanted to tell you, Billy, thank you, personally, for joining my space yesterday and making it, what it was. Thank you. So that being said, let's smoke. No law regarding cannabis. Cheers, Jiminy. Cheers, Billy Ballantyne. Cheers, Turbo Jerko. Everybody else that's in the chats over here on the Rumble, and Brap, and Patrick John Welder, Squish Squash 030, Josh G, Squish Squash didn't want to get back with me on that. Okay, that's cool. You don't have to. I was just, putting it out there. Hopefully you'll go learn about it. Cheers, guys. Oh, I can't believe how smooth that shake was. Smooth. Oh, and funky tasting. Oh my God, that tastes so good. Before I even exhaled it, I tasted it. Mmm. Delicious. Oh no, somebody knocked my avocado over. Why? I'm sweating profusely now. This is usually when I grab the camera and show you the sweat coming off of my head. But I'm gonna turn this fan on. I'm dying. Oh my God. Sorry guys. I just got totally fucked up from that bong rip. I don't know what sous vide means. What does sous vide mean? Sous vide? I don't know what that is. What does that mean? Can you do it to a cat? Because I got one right here. Dude, I had a full body sweat from that hit. It was amazing, man. Everywhere. My whole body, all the way down to my toes. Oh, really? Boy, look at you guys! Look at you guys know what sous vide means! Brap knows! Fucking Billy knows! Turbo Jerko knows! Like in a vaccine bag. You could do it, but poor Harles. I've never heard the word before. Unless I'm saying it wrong and I just don't... Whoa, is he live right now?
Producer, but they do release them kind of as you're going because they have a huge staff there. It's not like some rinky-dinky thing, you know. So they release them, and so part of the reason the producer called me was she was like, I wanted you to know that the higher up decided not to release your segment, your radar, and so you're not going to see it on YouTube. Just so you know, I wanted you to hear from me, and I was like, why? And she said, well, I didn't know this at the time. But we have a policy where we don't do op-eds, written or video, on Israel. And of course, if I'd known this, I would have told you, because the thing is, you submit your radar, your monologue, you email it the night before, and they never check it. They just, part of the things that they do is they trust the host to deliver monologues. There's no party line, usually there's no ideological, like, framework, and that's kind of what their shtick is at Rising at the Hill. That you're allowed to say things outside of the mainstream that you can't say in other media venues.
A lot of what Rising, and I think the reason people, gain popularity is because it was many times willing to go outside of the Overton window. It was outside of what mainstream media would allow.
Right, yeah. So I was told that you couldn't do op-eds on Israel. And so I spent like the next couple of days
Lee Camp just read my whole fucking chat. That was so awesome. I just watched him read it. That was so awesome. Oh my God. That just made me so happy.
I got a call on Wednesday. This is Monday. And I got a call on Wednesday from the editor-in-chief of The Hill, Bob Cusack, telling me they weren't going to run it. I asked him why.
That's Katie Halpern, if anybody is wondering.
Which was just can I curse on this show?
Yeah.
Which was bullshit, because this is not
bullshit.
This is not some random person submitting an article for The Hill for consideration. This is something, and Ryan Grimm, who did a story on this, said that he did hundreds of these monologues because he himself used to work at Rising, and there was no oversight, absolutely no editorial oversight. So that was a lie. He said it wasn't in their sweet spot of coverage, which is more domestic than international, which was
Dude, they only have 54 people watching.
appeared on it over the course of 3
If
years.
that's
Again,
not-
every
if
week
that's
I did
not
international
audience,
news, probably
you know,
at least
subversion,
half the time.
I don't know what is. Why is
And
this
also
channel
it's in
being
large part a
subverted?
domestic story because, as we all know, Israel is a special friend of the United States, and Rashida Tlaib is a sitting congresswoman. So I knew that was not true. Now, the producers had told me that the good news was that even though you couldn't do op-eds on Israel, you could do segments on Israel. And not to get too into the weeds, but when I appeared every week as a guest, that was considered a segment. Then I was either, you know, so when you're a guest, you're doing segments. When you're a host, you're doing either segments or radars. So once I was told they weren't going to run it, I was like, can I talk about the story on my segment? Because it was the next day. I happened to film on Thursdays, so I was going to be filming my segment on Thursdays. And that's when the producer said, you should have gotten an email from Sarah. Sarah's another woman who works she's an executive.
Dude, I feel so bad that nobody's watching.
I can't remember her last name right now, which lucky for her. I'll find it later.
I can't believe nobody's watching.
Her, but
We will email everyone watching right now.
yeah, exactly. Don't worry, you'll get a follow-up email with her name and social security and address. No, but Sarah said, "Hi, Katie. We won't be needing you.
No
for
one
your,
watches Katie Halper anymore?
Segment tomorrow. Please.
Why
send
do you
any
say that,
unpaid
Turbo Jerko?
invoices." Feel free to send any unpaid invoices. There's a word for that I'm not going to use on TV or anywhere, but because I don't want to get my feminist bona fides taken away from me. But it was a word with the word Y at the end of it. We wish you best of luck, which is such a passive aggressive lie. You obviously don't wish me best of luck.
Yeah, it's a passive aggressive saying like, we wish you well, goodbye.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So that was it. And what I did, though, was I was like, I had reached out to Breakthrough News and Rania Khalek because not to do an expose and burn them down, but I thought, like, well, if they're not going to let me do my radar there, my monologue there, it's a good monologue, it's well-researched, so I'll do it with Breakthrough News, and then I'll talk about the story on Rising. The story being the Rashida Tlaib thing, the story not being how they censored me. But then once they did that, I was like, all right, fuck it. So we did the monologue, and at the top of the monologue, I say this is a monologue I recorded for The Hill, which was, you know, then they censored, and then I was fired over it, and that did pretty well. But I'm not gonna
Lee
lie,
was a
it's
buzz,
frustrating.
but
I
he
mean, they
got
had a huge
buried
audience,
because
and
RT hate.
you understand
They don't
this
because she
as
sort of
well as
becomes a
anyone
Karen. I
else,
mean,
better
I
than
like
most
her, but I
people,
never got on my way to
it's a
watch
pretty
her.
frustrating
Right.
feeling to be stifled.
I really, really, really like her.
I mean, I was
And I don't go out of my way to watch her
I feel like I'm a
either.
bit stifled, or I lost a big venue.
Because for me, she's long-winded, and you have to wade through a lot of talking to get to the points. She takes a long time to make a point, is what I'm trying to say. And that's hard to listen to for me, but I really, really, really like her. And I agree with all of her points, you know, for the most part. Unless she said something I don't agree with that I haven't heard yet. You know?
But I was never censored there, and
We agree on most things, and it makes it worth my while to check her out, you know, when I can, for sure.
Than like MSNBC or something, where they would, of course, vet every word you say. But I was never told what to say, what not to say, nothing. But at many of these other outlets, and especially mainstream media, that type of censorship is constant.
Right. I think it's more insidious in some ways at a place like The Hill because they pride themselves on it. So when you're watching it, you really have the idea. Like most people who are at all critical of the media in general understand that all establishment media, all mainstream media censors, whether it's overt or, you know, Crystal Ball talks about this, how she wrote a monologue about Hillary Clinton, and it got so fact-checked and there was so much pushback on it that she says this herself, like it was just easier not to do that anymore. Like people, it's not always overt in red ink, although in this case I assume it was red ink or whatever, but it's not always an explicit don't do this story. It can be you just make life harder for people when they do certain types of stories, and then people out of a sense of like self-preservation or just time management or not wanting the hassle, they just avoid these stories. In this case, I was just told, of course, they lied. I mean, Brianna Joy Gray, to her credit, who still works there, she did kind of publicly agonize over whether or not to stay. I understand why she stayed. She makes good points. That's a big show. So, you know, if you're going to have a big show, it's good to have some good people on it. But she she did go to the bat for me behind closed doors, and then she went to the bat for me in front of closed doors. She pushed back big time. They were saying, they denied that. They told her, and she said, I'm not blowing up. I'm not
$100 super chat.
Confidence, or she said this publicly on her show and on my show. They pretended that the reason they didn't do the monologue was because of stylistic issues as opposed to ideological ones, which literally nobody believed that. Absolutely
put it up on the
nobody
screen.
believed that. Wow, thanks, Nays Garden.
Yeah, thanks,
wow,
Nays.
Very
Very kind of you.
Yeah. By the way, patreon.com/the Katie Helper Show, just so you know. Or youtube.com/the Katie Helper Show. No, but I'm very glad that you're supporting Lee, because Lee definitely deserves support. And we had you on like right after RT got shut off. Got shut down. Yeah. So because we wanted to make sure to support you. But that was bullshit, and it was nice that Bree defended me on that, because I would have. I mean, it was just important, I think, for people to see that really was the reason. Like, if they're gonna fire me,
everyone's like, I wish I could do that. I want to send them
$100.
$100.
Party line followers that they are, and not get away with the lie that it was stylistic, which is
we'll send them another $100 from the audience,
except for the most dishonest.
You know, I'll make them start crying.
Like right-wing Zionists or Peps could pretend that there's anything untruthful in it. I mean, I think that the only honest way that you push back against the video I did, and there are honest people who do this, is by saying, well, maybe it's apartheid, but it needs to be that. Maybe it's apartheid, but they want to kill all Jews and push all Jews to the sea. You know, you can't. And then people come back.
I'm sure some people have that opinion, but they don't like to. They don't like to phrase it that way.
She tried to hijack Lee's supporters.
And then, you know, then you have people, well,
hey, bro, it's Katie, man. It's freaking Katie.
It's not about ethnicity.
What were you expecting?
Religion. Like, okay, fine. Well, Israel is the one the country that defines being Jewish, not as just religion. You can have one Jewish grandparent, although this crazy right-wing government is changing it. So I was talking to Miko Pellet, who I believe you've had on your show, or I know he does stuff at Mint Press. But but it's getting even worse. You know, it's just ridiculous, because it also, the idea that it doesn't count because it's not black people versus white people, people who are saying it's not racial in the case of Israel-Palestine.
Boom.
The irony is they're
super chat fired off,
which is a social construct, and they're implicitly saying that they believe in race as a category, right? And I had on Noura Erakat, who is a human rights lawyer, Palestinian American, who, if anyone doubts that, you know, if anyone wants to see that argument destroyed, I highly recommend this interview that I did.
Optimism of the Will just said,
Nora, which you can find
Wellness Garden just made me cry.
Infuriating. I mean,
exactly as I predicted.
I mean, look, I'm fine. I'm very lucky because I have other shows. I have the Katie Helper Show. I have Useful Idiots, and so that was not my only source of income. But it was
Valerie, the girl I said I got you. She's like, oh my God, thank you, Nays.
And it was. I'm not gonna lie, it's really fun. Like, something that's great about Rising is that the left doesn't have a lot of money, so we don't have very cool sets or cool production value.
Same with RT, and RT was not exclusively left. Neither was Rising, but there were a few people like me and Chris Hedges and Jesse Ventura and stuff that were able to get really nice sets and high level equipment and everything for our shows. So yeah.
Right, and it's not exclusively left at all, but the point is, like, if you're on there and you're making a good point as a leftist, it's nice to have high production value.
Right.
And it's rare because, I think that the only way that the left has recently been able, I don't even know recently, maybe for longer, but the only way the real left has been able to get high production value is by being on channels that are not exclusively left, or being on shows like Rising that are explicitly kind of bipartisan or post-partisan. And what Rising does, by the way, for people who don't know, is that I was on as the leftist host, and I was paired up with Robbie Suave, who's there as the right-wing host, or I would and other times I guest hosted. I was there with Emily, who was on the right wing, who now has left to do the show Counterpoints with Ryan Grimm, but that's their shtick.
I don't normally do this, but I feel like it's a good thing to address. Someone goes, the left doesn't have much money. Is this comedy? And what they're misunderstanding is when we say the left, we do not mean Democrats.
Right.
We mean real, actual left wing.
Yeah, we mean people who criticize the war machine. We mean people who criticize Democrats. I mean, this is an important point. I am glad you highlighted this because the term left can be a catch-all, and certainly sometimes we'll kind of like say, I mean, this is an important point precisely because the Republicans and Democrats don't represent the right and the left. They represent the right and the center right. Mm-hmm. And it's a myth that we have these two parts of the political spectrum. But yeah, MSNBC may proclaim to be left, although I don't know how much they can do that when they have a George W. Administration to MSNBC pipeline that they run. I mean, literally, they have so many people who worked for Bush, or it's basically an RNC to MSNBC pipeline. They have that guy Stephen Schmidt who worked for McCain. They have William Kristol, a major neocon, a major architect of the Iraq War. They still claim to be, I guess, I mean, it shows that they don't understand left or right, or that their understanding of left and right is also within a right wing.
I think it's, I don't think it's not understanding. I think it's intentional. I think they want Americans to believe this is as left as thought can get.
Right. They want to shift the Overton window to the right, so that these are like I guess this is the Amy Goodman of mainstream news, or although of course Amy Goodman, I just had Vijay Prashad on, we talked about what happened to Democracy Now! Because I don't think, and this is something I disagree with some people on the left. I think some people on the left will cancel entire outlets because there's some problematic coverage. I still say that Democracy Now! Does a lot of important investigation.
All right.
A lot, like their headlines are really important.
Cheers, everybody. No law regarding cannabis. Let's smoke one for Lee and Katie.
I don't disagree with you. And also they were pivotal in kind of waking me up years
that
ago,
I really appreciate.
6 and 7
Cheers.
and 8. But I will say it starts to add up.
Yeah, we already covered it.
Giving into the kind of State Department talking points about Syria and about various things, Ukraine in many ways, although sometimes they have debates. But you start to eventually.
We're going to cover it again.
I had to stop watching eventually because I was like, well, when a third of it I know is factually incorrect, I don't know how much I can trust the other stuff. So.
Right. So we did a thing, I think it's Patreon only, with VJ, where he kind of tries to figure out what happened there because he's been on the show. But, they have this guy, Adrian Zen on, who's German, who's like, apparently, I have to look into this, but...
I didn't know they had him on. He's an evangelical German who's like the main researcher on the so-called genocide against Uyghurs. And he has said, quote unquote, that Jews will burn in a fiery furnace upon death or the end times or whatever.
Yeah.
And his goal in life is to stop communism. And it's like the idea that this guy is ever taken literally or seriously anyway is bizarre.
Yeah, well, I hope he's not taken literally because that really sucks for us when the end times come, Lee.
Yeah.
We're screwed. Although, is your mom, I don't even know, is your mom's side of the family Jewish or your dad's side?
Mom's side.
Okay, so you do count.
So I'm official.
You're official. Yeah, you're legit. Of course, just so people know, that's a religious definition of Jewishness. Right. It's not one. Judah Friedlander has this funny joke because Judah Friedlander is half Jewish. As you can probably guess, it's his dad, Friedlander. And he was on my show. He said this. He was like, when people find out your mom isn't Jewish, they treat you like like you killed their dog or something. They don't consider you Jewish. And he said, but for the Nazis, being Jewish just meant having one Jewish grandparent. So in some ways, Hitler was more accepting of Jews than other Jews.
Yeah, Judah's pretty great a lot of the time.
Yeah, he is great. Yeah.
What was I about to say before that fried my brain?
Before the Jewish enough for Hitler joke.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask earlier. I'm sorry to say I was not a regular Rising watcher. Do they ever do anything about Israel, or it's really like?
Well, this is what's so surprising. This is what's so interesting because a lot of people, mostly haters,
does Lee look like Cyber
Reload? Like, oh, Katie just did this to
never
make
saw
a
that
statement.
before.
Of course, she was going to get fired after she did this. You can't criticize Israel. I had done like so many segments on Israel as a guest. And
she got fired, bro. It was a big deal. This was like a month ago.
Honest Reporting, which is an ironic.
What is that? October 21st.
They are just
2 months ago.
They're merchants of smearing.
Oh,
they try to get people fired.
This connects all of us. They just did something that was a mint press cartoon about you. So.
Oh, great. Okay,
dude,
cool.
and I just...
So they had gone after me for a segment, and of course these people are just censorious and can't actually debate you on the issue, so they have to smear you. And
I
they can't
said, I just tweeted this at Midpress
so
TV.
they just have to smear people. So I know that they did an article about me. I decided not to respond to it because they seem so pathetic and insignificant. And if the Hill caved to that, I mean, that's pretty pathetic. But there also was a very important article.
Where's
that,
Twitter?
well, a couple things. One is that Low Key, who has a show obviously on Mint Press, did a kind of deep dive into all the conflicts of interest between the Hill and Israel. But also Branko Marcetic did a great article at Jacobin. Left-wing journalist Katie Halper has been fired for calling Israel an apartheid state, and he kind of looks into this Nexstar, and Nexstar is a company that bought the Hill in late August. I'm going to quote from his article. In late August, Nexstar filled the position of deputy managing editor of News Nation, its cable channel, with Jake Novak, a journalist who spent the preceding year and a half as the media director of the Israeli Consulate General in New York. Novak most recently achieved infamy for being embroiled in the Matt Gaetz underage sex controversy, where he appeared to admit to Dilbert cartoonist Scott Adams, of all people, that he was involved in the extortion attempt on Gaetz's rich father in order to funnel millions of dollars to a commando team leader to free a U.S. hostage in Iran. And so Novak was hired by Nexstar, and again, Nexstar bought the Hill. And he's written approvingly of Donald Trump's dropping of U.S. support for the two-state solution. He's advocated for Israel to build more illegal settlements, saying that would make up a hypothetical, saying it would bring more peace, prosperity, and freedom to both Israelis and Arabs. So that's interesting. And Nexstar is pretty shady. I mean, over the 2016 election cycle, the company's PAC gave 80% of its money to GOP-affiliated PACs, a number that rose to 100% in the 2018 cycle.
So they had bought the Hill, or bought a portion of the Hill just before not long before you were fired?
Right, yeah.
Dude, that lines up perfectly with kind of what happened to me at
I wonder how his
Huffington
Rumble
Post
is doing.
back in whatever it was, 2008, 2009 or something. I used to write comedy for Huffington Post. For a while, they had paid comedy writers, and so I wrote for them for like a year or two. Then they got rid of all their paid comedy writers because they realized they could make more money by just stealing people's work without paying people. So they started doing that, and I would still submit stuff unpaid occasionally when I just wanted to get 100,000 clicks on something, and so I'd send them stuff. But then the week after, or within days of being sold to AOL Time Warner, they told me they couldn't take one of my pieces. It was the first time they ever told me that.
Moment of clarity.
And within the piece, I called Rumsfeld a war criminal. And I emailed and said, is it because I called Rumsfeld a war criminal? And they're like, yeah, that doesn't really fit with our tone.
Wow.
And it was immediately after AOL bought them.
Wow, yeah. There you go.
Which, if you can't call Rumsfeld a war criminal, what?
I know. You're just literally... I mean, that's just facts. That's not an op-ed. That's not subjective. Yeah.
So in a more general sense, outside of just your experience, do you feel the conversation about Israel is opening up nationally, internationally? Like you're hearing the words apartheid state thrown around more than 10 years ago, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I do, and that's what's interesting. It's kind of the Overton window almost has shifted.
There's a lot more people talk. A lot more
is now.
A lot.
It is. I mean, I think what you just played is right, that it's harder and harder to pretend you're progressive and not be critical of Israel. Now that's reflected on the ground, and you do have some people on MSNBC, Mehdi Hassan, who I don't always agree with, but he's very good on this issue. You do see some of that trickling up, I guess, into mainstream media, but mostly you see this on the ground, and it's not reflected in the government. It's reflected among some people, like Rashida Tlaib. I mean, AOC did this weird thing where she voted present for the Iron Dome and was crying. I think she got politically threatened probably by Mama Bear.
Let me turn this
There were probably a lot of angry right-wing Zionists who were also mad at her. I don't really understand what happened there.
She has a
That was
very
kind of
penetrating
weird
voice.
moment. But you know, I think Ilhan Omar, of course, has been critical. And she got. I went on Fox News like you did when you slammed Fox News. I went on Fox News to defend Ilhan Omar. So I said,
what show was this?
Laura Ingram's. It was great. I clipped it and it did really well actually. So that got a lot of attention because you had these people trying to explain to me what anti-Semitism was. And you know, one of the
explain.
Yeah, explain. Yeah.
Goy is discriminatory.
And,
it's a
which is
discriminatory
just so funny
word.
because one of the guys who was Matt Schlapp, I believe is his name, and he's some like right-wing Christian who, of course, wants. Well, he may be Catholic actually, in which case he may not expect all of us to go back to Israel and burn in eternity. Although there are 400 of us or something who get out. 400 of us, yeah.
Is that just the richest ones, or?
I don't know. I think it's maybe those are how many are allowed to accept Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior. I'm not sure how it works, but there's a limited number of seats.
That's if you have to buy Donald Trump's trading cards, and then
probably, yeah, it may be NFT related. But you know, this guy was part of was affiliated with the Trump administration, and of course Trump famously said, you know, this guy is going to lecture me about anti-Semitism when Trump said that I'm sure there are fine people on both sides of Charlottesville.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. And I was like, why don't you?
They should nuke
Trump's
part of the earth.
You know, why don't you condemn Trump for that? Why don't you speak out against that?
It doesn't work like that, John.
Anti-Semitism. He didn't really have anything to say about that.
Yeah,
but I like the way you think,
I'm surprised,
John. I like the way you think.
But
you know, it's like you're looking for another solution. That's good. You're thinking outside the box.
I often get, which is
you're probably a pretty smart guy.
It seemed like a lot of people that are fans of mine, fans of yours, fans of Jimmy Dores, a few others, say why are we having to go to comedians for the truth?
Right.
Why have comedians? I mean, granted, it's only a handful of us, but you know, or a dozen or something. But why have comedians become these truth tellers in a way that you don't see coming from that many journalists, I guess?
Right. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that it's the system that comedians come up in. We don't come up in the way of I have to please the boss. So we're not generally, I mean, some are, but we're not generally thinking, well, what can I say that will be allowed, that will get me promoted at CNN or MSNBC, that will further me up that ladder. So I think that's part of it, the independent side. And then the other thing is just, I mean, as a comedian, and, you know, I started as a completely apolitical comedian, just Seinfeldian little observations.
Right. What's the deal?
What's the deal with this? You kind of hyper analyze everything. And so I feel like when you set yourself on that path, I didn't know at the time, you hyper analyze everything, and then you start hyper analyzing the news, and then you start seeing all these cracks in everything that you thought was the norm, you know, MSNBC talking points and stuff, and it all falls apart. It's like a house of cards, and I don't know. So I feel like those are maybe the two bigger reasons. Yeah,
you do start looking at, like, if you analyze things and you look at things with a critical eye, or you look at language, that's always kind of a fun thing to do. Or you just see the irony in things, or you see the comedy in things that, like, you know, but it's like you want to laugh instead of cry.
I shared their video on
Twitter. To say things
I shared it on Facebook.
Hurt careers. I know you talked about how you didn't exactly know you were doing anything that was going to get you fired, but
but I couldn't shut up right after.
I'm going to give you guys the link to it in the chat right now. Here's a link. You guys can share this link around.
See you on Thursday.
There's the link. If everybody could just take that link and share it on all your social media right now, I'd appreciate it.
When nobody else was doing it.
Tara Reid, yeah, and I know you've had.
It's psychotic that these two have 79 people watching them.
Yeah. I mean,
it's fucking psychotic.
After you got the ball rolling, I you know, then started interacting with her and have talked to her. But so many people were afraid to do that. I didn't know it at the time. I mean, I had to be educated on it. But so many people were afraid to do that because they were like, "Oh, this is a third rail."
What's the deal with imperialism?
Right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of things that are third rails that I think that I think maybe also it is that, like, once you
third rails
are willing to touch the third rail,
it's an interesting conversation.
Easier. But also, to be honest,
let's talk about third rails.
I feel like I sometimes have to be selective because I don't want to touch too. I
It's
touch
like,
the third rail.
Katie, why do you come on my show to talk about third rails? Hey, Katie, will you come on my podcast and talk about third rails too?
Third rails.
I don't have enough arms. Yeah.
What? I don't think I've ever asked you this. What comedians?
Why are you threatening me, Katie?
What's funny is that I
Why are you threatening
love
me?
Colbert and Stewart, but especially Colbert because he was always like Stewart could kind of go in and out of being political or in and out of having an ideology, but Colbert was always ideological. Like he couldn't say a single thing without being ideological because he was a parody character. So everything he was doing was making fun of the right wing. And he was so much funnier when he was at the Colbert Report than he is now.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did find it kind of shocking. I was a huge Colbert fan as well of the Colbert Report. I did find it kind of shocking that he claims to not really know of the influence exactly that he was having. And when he went and did the famous Bush's Correspondents' Dinner and obliterated Bush, and everyone goes, "Oh my God, Colbert did it." He claims, and I knew one of his producers at the time, and he said it was the truth.
Unintentional.
Colbert thought he was doing his job. He thought he was there to make people laugh and be a faux right winger, and he didn't realize that he was going beyond what was allowable.
Right. How is that possible, though? He included Helen Thomas. I mean, Helen Thomas famously was smeared as an anti-Semite when she was the only person. She happened to be Lebanese American. She was the only person who had a slight sympathy towards Palestinians, as opposed to every single other person in the media who's loyal. Oh, I'm gonna get called an anti-Semite. I was gonna say loyalty, allegiance. Who leaned quote unquote pro Israel. He had to know that was going to get him into some trouble. He even defended her on his show. He went, one of the best segments he did ever was he did this thing called Formidable Opponent, where it was like Colbert versus Colbert. And he talked about the flotilla, and it was really funny and really informative. And he had Michael Oren on, the American ambassador to Israel, and he went after him for the blockade on Gaza and talked about, so wait, let me get this right. So lettuce is dangerous, cardamom is dangerous, all these things that were on their list, cinnamon, whatever. It was very, very, very courageous. And I do think he had some kind of just basic decency. And if you have basic decency, you do see how ridiculous the Israeli government is. I mean, just like you see how ridiculous the U.S. government is when you have that. But I want to point out something, which is that, people...
Hey, low stress, let's do a bong rip. No law regarding cannabis, everybody cheers.
Loyalty is actually one that's peddled by people who claim to battle anti-Semitism, like AIPAC and the ADL. They're the ones who suggest that Jews are a monolith and Jews all blindly support Israel. They wouldn't say blindly, but Jews all support Israel. They're the ones who conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. And that's really based on the anti-Semitic idea that all Jews have one position on Israel. I mean, it's just so ironic that this is an anti-Semitic trope that they accuse, Ilhan Omar of spreading. She doesn't think that about American Jews. She doesn't think that we're mostly loyal to Israel. She used a word once that, and of course, most Zionists are Christian. That's another thing, which is ironic.
Well, and calling you or me anti-Semitic for criticizing Israel, or really
do we feel like Zionism has a new definition now?
It actually creates more of it, or creates a window where more of it can exist, because the word stops meaning.
Right, trivializes it. Yeah, exactly.
Thrown around against Jeremy Corbyn, just used as a weapon.
Right, and then when there is actual anti-Semitism, it's harder to take those allegations seriously, because all these things that are not anti-Semitism are called anti-Semitism, and there is real anti-Semitism. And Ali Abu Nima from Intifada talks about this, how
since we're talking third rail,
the anti-defamation league, so they try to both sides anti-Semitism. So they say, well, on the right we have people who are shooting up synagogues, but on the left we have people who support BDS. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's anti-Semitism, supporting BDS, supporting a non-violent boycott, divest, sanction of Israel. It's not anti-Semitic. It's picking on Israel. It's not picking on Jews. And Israel, again, these same people who are pretend to be friends of Israel, they're the ones who are highlighting, all American politicians almost highlight the special relationship with Israel. Some people are like, why are you picking on Israel? Well, we have a special relationship with them. We fund the hell out of them.
Right.
They claim to be this democracy in a sea of backwards barbarity, and we claim the same thing. And then they, at the same time, they don't have a democracy. And what's fascinating is you have people like Itamar Ben Gvir, who is this rabid racist Israeli who's going to be
confusing
part
anti-Zionism
of
with
Netanyahu's
anti-Semitic.
cabinet.
It's not anti-Semitic.
Mayor Kahane. He is, who was a rabid right-wing anti-Muslim terrorist, basically. You have one of his spokesmen said to an NBC reporter. The NBC reporter was commenting on some of their basically, proposed ethnic cleansing plans, and said, "Is this really democracy?" And this guy says, "Well, Israel wasn't really founded as a democracy. It was first and foremost founded as a Jewish state." And you can't. He's saying the quiet part out loud.
Right.
Would it be worthwhile to talk about the IHRA definition?
I mean, it is on the flag.
That is true.
What is
right? And that's
anti-Semitism?
another interesting thing is that Israel really prides itself in being
this
secular, enlightened state, and yet you can't even get married without an Orthodox rabbi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can't convert. You have to have an Orthodox conversion. And they really, talking about both sides in it and having it both ways, they really do like to do that.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back a little. You and I both were, back when we used to do Laughing Liberally and stuff, you and I both were very supportive of Obama's 2008 campaign, and it really, for me, that was the final wake-up call, was seeing how he behaved and that he was no different.
Right.
And I was younger then.
Right.
Seeing that he was no different, he wasn't going to actually serve the people. He was dropping as many bombs as Bush did, and destroying the environment equivalently and everything. And so I'm wondering what your wake up process was, to see that these two parties are not really two parties. I mean, you may have some outliers. There are some outliers, but for the most part, they agree on 80 to 90% of our nation.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was always left, like more left. I just didn't see a viable left, and people are going to probably shit on me for this. Well, there's Occupy Wall Street, which I feel like you were actually fairly involved with. Occupy Wall Street I supported, but it didn't resonate with me, if that makes sense. What really resonated with me was Bernie Sanders.
Because you don't like sleeping bags.
I don't like sleeping bags, actually. I don't like camping. So it was only going to go so far for me. And I don't love drum circles either. But Bernie Sanders, I think, was just a wake-up call to how it exposed so many. Well, there were a couple things. One is that we got Obama as president. And to be fair, I never thought he would be amazing. I thought he'd be better than he was, though.
Yeah.
And I was never that excited about him, though. I actually really didn't like his purple America, blue state, red state, purple America shit. And because he didn't make it post-partisan, it was kind of about meeting in the middle is how I saw it. And, of course, he did basically do that, trying to be as centrist as possible. And, of course, he undermined the anti-war movement because we had Obama. We didn't have to worry about it. And I spent and there was so much racism towards him also, so he became a more sympathetic figure.
Right. And he made it, as with Clinton, he made it normal for Democrats as well as Republicans but made it normal for Democrats to be just endless war, environmental, big oil destruction, big oil, environmental destruction. He made all that normal for Democrats. Now, Clinton did as well. But.
Right. We can't deny. We have to give Clinton credit for being a real trailblazer. But I think with Bernie, what happened was all these people who claim to be like me, who claim to be leftists, but okay, we live in this two-party system, and of course, if we had a better option, we'd line up behind that option and support that option. when we had Bernie and when he was viable and when we realized how popular Medicare for All was, and that it was a fringe issue only among elites and among media elites, which is what made it seem like a fringe issue in the first place. When people didn't line up behind him or rally around him or whatever you want to say, it was like, oh, these people are absolutely.
I would tell Katie, hey, when you're making points, keep it to the length of a tweet.
And that
every point that you want to make, because you can write a tweet. You know how to do that?
Bernie, and you were more critical of him.
That's what I tell her. That's how you should do it on a podcast too.
Although I don't really think it's not that I don't think I was.
I don't really think that if I was really thinking about what I'm trying to think about, but I was thinking, and then I was thinking it.
I was done with him at that point, but
my thoughts were like thinking. I was like thinking my thoughts.
You know, I wasn't endorsing
just to
anyone,
say what I'm going to be saying when I'm thinking what I say is going to be said. And I'm thinking about that.
This will be rigged against him.
What I'm going to say.
I know enough about the system. I know enough about these primaries that, and I calculated. I mean, covered and really went piece by piece through how it was being rigged against him. And sure enough, it was exactly that.
Right.
So it wasn't that I was just more cynical. It wasn't that I thought that he was garbage.
Right, of course.
I just
you just knew how the
never let him
system
be president.
Right, yeah, right. And
she's doing like vocal fry.
But it's interesting because Bernie is, Jack Allison from Struggle
She's
Session,
a vocal fryer?
Like ultimately he was.
Has she been frying her vocals?
A Democrat. He was even a Democrat because a lot of his enemies would be like he's not even a Democrat.
No.
Like sadly he was even a Democrat. He was.
I don't think she is. But I bet in the morning she sounds like she is.
I think though that woke me up to, even though he was
coffee?
Obviously working within the two-party system, I just feel like that was a general wake-up call to the full of shitness.
Long-winded. Well,
even though
it's not long-winded garbage.
Really
hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Katie Halper is not saying anything. Okay? I'm saying Katie Halper takes a while to say what she's going to say. And she likes the art of the conversation.
Critical of Bernie.
There's nothing. She likes to talk, man, and it's cool. It's a talk show. And she's good at talking.
I would like him to be. And he did,
if she wasn't good at talking, she'd be Horace.
He endorsed Biden way too quickly without getting any concessions. Concessions. That was really disturbing.
But it was also so odd after it had been completely rigged against him the first time around that he just went into the next one exactly the same as if.
Yeah, I know.
He needed a better battle plan. Let him do it.
Yeah, he needed a better battle plan. Now maybe he really just thought he was going to push the issues. And he did to a certain extent, but then again, at the end of the day, we don't have Medicare for all. I mean,
right.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
Like he got
There's the point.
Things he got, big concessions.
Good point. We don't have it. We don't have anything.
The DNC. That platform doesn't matter. They don't care what that platform said.
Yeah. Ridiculous. So, I mean, but I guess it was just it was a wake-up call to how watching the Democrats sabotage him was a reminder of how terrible the Democrats are. It created this division, I think. It really brought out the left versus liberal. That thing we were talking about at the beginning of the show. Right. It was no longer people who I thought would get excited by the leftists once there was an actual leftist there. It was people who just like either their politics sucked or they were taken up by this weird like parasocial relationship with Hillary Clinton.
I should close this door,
man.
Man.
Self-absorbed enough to see her journey resonate with them, and they cared more about one powerful, privileged, entitled woman.
I don't know how loud this is out there. She just
has
a very
less powerful women.
Mid-range voice.
Bernie Sanders
probably
was
gets
someone
through.
whose policies were good for women. I mean, he was less of a hawk than Hillary Clinton. War is pretty bad for women.
I can hear it echoing around the room.
He supported the fight for 15. The majority of minimum wage earners.
I've got some sound deadening techniques. I'm just going to walk out here. I'm going to do a little sound experiment.
Speech saying women's rights are human rights. Great, that's awesome. I mean, I couldn't care less. And her policies, are breaking up the banks going to end racism? No. Okay, that was the most cynical, disgusting thing because one, no one was saying breaking up the banks was going to end racism, but also you can't pretend that the housing crisis wasn't racialized. So was it going to end racism? No. What would things like breaking up banks help ameliorate some problems that disproportionately impact people of color? Yes.
So far in these past 2 years, what rating would you give Biden? A plus or A plus plus?
That's like when Stephen Colbert used to say.
He's a real funny guy.
Bush, best president or best president ever? Yeah, I mean, I think Biden sucks. I think that, like, one thing I will say about Bernie is maybe he made it easier for people to be less complacent about Biden. Now, I don't know what effect that has on the ground. I don't think we have a strong anti-war movement. But I do.
Or almost any.
Here we go.
Yeah, right.
Here we go.
Really
Let's talk about
any.
that.
I do think that, like, I don't know.
Let's talk about that.
I mean, the U.S. has moved to a place where it's like endless war without declaring war. So
Right.
it's almost it's so. I mean,
Under the radar, almost.
it's like AFRICOM doesn't get any coverage, and we have 36 named operations going
Right.
on in Africa.
From
Africa.
outside
You
looking,
know what AFRICOM is.
she's
Yeah,
not
you
like
know,
that. You got her
just-
wrong, bro.
How can
She's
you have an anti-war movement when
Right.
most people don't know what the war is?
Right,
bro.
it's true,
She's
yeah.
amazing.
And
I'm
Ukraine
telling
stuff,
you.
as you guys have covered well. I mean, it's just an Alan McLeod.
Trust me, everybody, when I tell you that Katie
Yeah,
Halper is
press
amazing.
colleague.
Please,
I mean, that is just like, that's something that's
please believe
extremely
me.
infuriating, because
Do you get in arguments with family members over Ukraine?
not so my parents are pretty
Listen to
extended
this.
family, yes, I do, but my parents are pretty
Pro
good on
Israel.
this stuff. My mom especially, she'll sometimes send out like mass texts to people. I'm like, why are you doing this? She sent out
she's
Chris Hedges,
Baxter.
which was great. That article he wrote early
She
on.
agrees with her
which is
daughter.
Like, what was it?
Not what I expected.
Basically, was saying it was like unjustified, but it was predictable. He was saying it was a totally predictable and preventable war. And she sent it out to like 12 people on text, and of course a big fight broke out. And like, you know, it's like, Mom, you can't do that. If you want to do that, at least do it on email so people don't get these like, you know, aggressive texts. But you know, if people cared about the lives of Ukrainians, and I think what's sad about this is that you have a combination of bad faith people who want a proxy war to continue because they want to weaken Russia and they want, you know, sales for the arms industry to do well.
Just
And
like
then you
I
have
say, right?
Good faith people who just hear the PR and really think that Putin is a Hitler, and we have to defend Ukrainians, and that what we're doing is for the sake of civilians. And of course, if you know anything about the way that this war broke out, you know anything about the way that it was preventable, that it was provoked, or you just look at the way that Boris Johnson, and clearly he doesn't do anything without the U.S. is okay, but Boris Johnson told Zelensky not to negotiate.
I'm going to go out
with
there and hear how
Putin.
loud it is
You
now.
look at the way
Back
the United
in
States.
April.
Yeah, back in April. If you care about Ukrainian lives, you want this war to come to an end. And the fact that they prioritize extending the war should tell you everything you need to know about whether or not the lives of Ukrainians is what's actually important.
Yeah. That's the thing I found most infuriating. Is it's like the people claiming to care about Ukrainian lives are actually supporting the side that is essentially saying just keep this going forever.
Yeah, they're extending the war, and it is frustrating because it's like people's empathy is being and ignorance is being preyed on, and you know, of course, then there's the other thing about, well, where are your Palestinian flags? I mean, that's something that the
Right.
United States has a direct hand in. But
Or
of
your
course-
Yemen flags.
or your Yemen flags, right? Yeah,
No
yeah.
flags.
I mean, so, and it's also frustrating because it's hard to explain. You have to really sit someone down and be like, okay, here's the
I said all
history
flags
of
are bad.
Russia and the United States, the Soviet Union, starting at the fall of the Soviet Union. Here are the promises we made. Here's what NATO really does. It's not an easy narrative, but I think that the Hitlerification of Putin is extremely dangerous because the takeaway from that, and you see people saying this out loud, he's worse than Hitler. You see Michael McFaul saying this on MSNBC and saying that Hitler at least didn't kill, what did he say? Like,
Yep.
didn't kill
No,
Germans.
Rachel Maddow's own Twitter said
Yeah.
that
Spider
Hitler didn't
77
kill
and
his own
gods.
people or
Yep, we
something.
fight
Kill
over
Germans-
flags
German
and gods.
Germans,
He,
or ethnic
he didn't kill Germans, which is acting like Jews weren't
We're
German.
not Germans. Yeah. I mean, it was insane. And but the real takeaway of the Hitlerification of Putin is that you can't negotiate, right? Because the takeaway from World War II is that we were naive, or Neville Chamberlain was naive. Now, I actually talked about this with Jeffrey Sachs.
You're
on my
not a
show.
MAGA
This is
communist.
I probably shouldn't have said this, but the truth is, you do try to negotiate first. That's not the problem. It's just that then if it doesn't work, you can't negotiate. But
I'm a non-voting independent
the
progressive.
reason people love saying that is
I
because
vote locally.
they want it to look like sitting down with Putin is an impossibility.
Right.
And that's very dangerous because obviously all wars end through negotiation.
Yep. At some point.
Yeah. So it's just a question of how many people are going to die before that happens.
Yeah, and the U.S. is fine with fighting Russia.
Last time I voted was I wrote for a president. I wrote in Bernie Sanders.
But I always remind people that even former CIA directors.
I hadn't voted in the last two presidential elections.
Proxy war.
Right, and the head of William Burns, who's the head of the CIA.
Remember, I got my ballots up on the wall in California.
WikiLeaks, like we can't do these things.
You guys remember that?
Have them feel like NATO's on
proudly
the borders,
displayed.
all these things that could have been prevented. And you don't have to like Putin.
Two
but I'm
unopened
sorry,
presidential ballots.
He's not.
No,
proudly displayed.
You can say you're opposed to the invasion, as I am, because I'm
Yeah.
anti-war. But
Sure.
but he's doing something very strategic for Russian
years
security.
in that house.
Like,
I mean, yeah, and I don't like he leans into homophobia. I think that's awful. Like, but again, I just don't want dead Ukrainians. Like,
yeah.
And he's not an irrational actor. You can disagree with him on a lot of things and still know that the way that you end wars is by bringing people to the table. And people are like, he's a bully. I'm like, okay, he's a bully on what? What do you want to do about it? Let him bully more?
As if the U.S. doesn't bully
I know,
people.
I know. That's our lane. That's our lane.
Exactly.
I think we're feeling we're triggered. We're feeling insecure. Yeah.
In these last 5 minutes, do you have any predictions for this coming 2 years of nonstop presidential campaigning garbage?
Oh my God, no! I have no idea. What do you think? You think anyone's going to challenge him?
Challenge Trump, you mean?
Oh, I meant Biden.
Oh, Biden. I think the Democratic Party behind closed doors will decide whether he is even cognitively capable of running again. Which so far it seems like they are sticking with him.
Dude, he's almost got 100 people in here.
With the Trump thing, I think
it's nice.
Trump has
some more people. I was telling everybody, man, bring people in, man. Go share this around.
They have now created this space for a far more.
I was sharing it like I shared it on my social media. I shared it with y'all. You guys want to share it again?
And I think whoever
here's the link
is probably that beats Trump
in the chat. If you guys want to share that out,
the floor with Biden.
Get more people there.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
Excited for it?
After this is over.
Very excited. Getting very, very, very excited. Yeah. It's really so disturbing.
Ridiculously.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I really appreciate having you on here. Thanks for chatting with me, and
of course.
I hope you keep doing great work. And we're going to talk.
Thank you. And you too.
Soon. Remind
it was a great discussion.
At youtube.com/The Katie Halper Show, you can get extended exclusive content at patreon.com/The Katie Halper Show. We have some really great content there. Extended interview with Vijay Prashad where he talks about Democracy Now. What else? KT Helps on Twitter and Instagram. That's letter K, letter T, HALPS. Also Useful Idiots and usefulidiots@substack.com. Please do subscribe. It's a free way to support my work. Just subscribe to youtube.com/The Katie Halper Show. Catch it live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. EST. I'm also on Callin, so that's a fun way to interact. I think that's about it, right?
Cool. Thanks a lot, Katie.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Katie's awesome.
All right, everybody.
You have no idea.
Halper. Thank you so much.
You have no idea.
So,
just trust me.
With Katie's work, we are completely independent. This is a Mint Press project, but it's funded by people like you. So please join at patreon.com/behind the headlines. Join up there. You can also find all of this, and hopefully you'll subscribe at youtube.com/behind the headlines. Behind the Headlines is the video platform that Mint Press has created. So that's what that name is, if you were wondering. Hope you hit subscribe and hit the bell so that you find out about these. I do 2 interviews a week. Tomorrow, assuming no glitches, no problems arise, I will be showing it's the first time it will be airing, my live interview
It
with
says error, try
John
again.
Shipton, Julian Assange's father. And I will, after that, be talking live to Kevin Gostola, the reporter who has covered.
It didn't let me say
Assange,
Lowell.
Every single day. He's done it immensely well, if that's an expression. And he's been in the court many times. So first half will be John Shipton, Julian Assange's father. Second half will be Kevin Gostola. So that will be tomorrow, Friday at noon Eastern. So come join me then. YouTube.com/Behind the Headlines. And I will see you soon. Keep fighting.
That was awesome. If the chat stays on, I'll tell them they can come by. Oh.
Hello, thanks for joining me for the...
I said the Smoke Ring channel. Dude, as soon as I start typing, it fucking goes away, bro. It's like boom. Allegation against Dolly Parton have been confirmed. She's using our new medicine that makes her look like she's 91 years old instead of 95. Allegation against Dolly Parton have been confirmed. God. Oh, Billy, listen to what they're saying in this stupid advertisement. I refuse to click on it. I absolutely refuse, Billy. I refuse. What sort of skin cream might they be pushing? Some sort of... What's that stuff called? Get rid of wrinkles for a couple of hours or whatever. I forgot. People rub it on their skin and it makes their wrinkles go away for a few hours so they can go to like a reunion and shit and feel better about themselves. For a few hours, and it's like Cinderella. If you don't get home, if you don't get
collagen.
If you don't get home by midnight, then it wears off, and all of a sudden you're all wrinkly. I'm wrinkled. I'm wrinkled again. I'm all wrinkled again. I've got this bull-packed man. Oh, that's my phone dinging. Why is it ringing? I don't know. Amazing Atheist said so. I got a notification though, and now it's time to smoke this bowl again. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. I can just barely keep that up because it is just so good. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke this bowl. Here we go. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. Why? I'm gonna smoke this bowl. You know it. I'm gonna smoke. Is it packed? I'm gonna smoke. Eating a grape. I can't sing while I'm eating a grape. So. It's a big grape, obviously. With seeds. Oh, great. We all like that. I always look for that in a grape. Seeds, you know. I'm gonna smoke this bowl again. 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 Yeah, I'm gonna smoke. Is it packed? I'm gonna smoke. Yes, it is. I'm gonna smoke this bowl Get a lighter. I'm going to smoke this bowl. Let's go.
There you go.
Kevin Anderson. Yo, this dab's for you too, bro. Yo, cheers, everybody. No lower regarding cannabis. Cheers, Jiminy.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody on the Rumble. That's nobody that's typing yet. Cheers, Kevin Anderson. Billy Ballantyne on the chat. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Dolly Parton has $1 million in plastic surgery done. My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my Grammy. I just saw her on Reba, and she looked pretty old. Now, that was years ago. That show, Reba, right? Okay, Google. What years did Reba come out?
According to Wikipedia, Reba is an American television sitcom starring Reba McEntire that aired from October 5th, 2001 to February 18th, 2007. The series originally premiered on the WB,
She was
where it
all.
aired for 5 seasons, with
Jesus
the 6th
Christ.
season airing on the CW.
She was already looking pretty old. She was in the part she was playing on there. She was supposed to be old, you know. So it's like, yeah, she definitely had some more work done in between then and now, for sure. For sure. It's like Shake on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You know, constantly having to get like something pumped into you, you know. Someone received my payment. What are you talking about? I don't know. Oh, that's good. Okay, good. That's good. We want that. We like that. We like it. We like it. Candace Mountain. She put up a video, 10 financial predictions 2023. Hell yeah, go check that out. Candace Mountain, friend of the show. What else we got here? This guy says, stop complaining, idiots. It looks like Warren Buffett. And then we said the truth about Israel will not be televised. Katie Halper and Lee Camp, we just watched that one. That was great. That was great. I'll get a link right here to my phone.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Headlines, and
That is great. Okay. So it doesn't look like Bitcoin's going to do anything once again until that 1222 mark, which it's nowhere near. Ethereum's nowhere near 1222. So it was up at 1200 before, but now it's dropped $5. That's a huge drop. It's not good. So that's where the crypto is right now. Oh yeah, bro. Where's David Campione at? David Campione. Yoni. That's some fucking Jedi. Dude, watch this shit. This is some Jedi shit, bro. Does it go big? Does it go big screen? Dude. I don't know how to make it big screen. Oh, here we go. Got it. And I thought he had a whole video. Okay, it's one meme. Here it is. Let me get it up on screen for you. It says, Neo, what are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge chairs? Morpheus, no, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to. Look how the chair just bounces off of her magically, bro. She's awesome. It's like those chairs must be made out of just the lightest plastic. That is great watching that over. Let me make that bigger for you guys. Here. I got this. Hold on. Let's just get this like, just full on. I want that full on, God, she's a badass, dude. She wants to fight, bro. She's like, get your shit. I'm ready to frickin'. She threw hands at that girl, bro. You should have seen her. She dominated that girl. She got her over the counter, stood up on top of her, and started wailing on her. It was fucking amazing. I know, bro. It's awesome. I wonder if they have the whole video in this thread. Bunch of references. Man throws chair. Oh, that's a picture. It's so funny. There's so many posts here, man. So many posts. Anyway, we've been live for quite some time. I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later today. Sorry the show was so late. Okay. Yesterday I turned off the show and somebody said, are you gonna kill? You gonna kill some zombies? I was like, I thought about it after. I was like, yeah, I could kill some zombies or something, play you a song on my guitar. I don't know. But you know me, I like to go outside with the dog after a show. Go take care of him and stuff, so. You could tell she's thrown hands. Bro, you could tell she has thrown hands and won many fights. That girl is a fighter, bro. She was a badass. She wasn't taking nothing from nobody. She was willing to take on the whole group all by herself. And her whole crew just ran off and let her defend herself. Did you see them all cowering off to the side? She's a hero, I say. guys are awesome. Love y'all. Josh G says hashtag keep it open. I'll play you a song on my guitar, okay? How about that? Let's see. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know what sound I have on. Whatsoever I feared has come to life, and whatsoever I thought became my life. Just when every day seemed to greet me with a smile, sunspots faded. Now I'm doing time. Now I'm doing time. 'Cause fell on black days. Fell on black days. Whomever I've cured, I'm sick now. And whomsoever I pray, oh, I put you down. Searchlights, so they say, but I can't see in the night. I'm only thinking when I get it right. When I get it right, I belong. Black days, I fell on black days. How would I know that would be my fate? How would I know this would be my fate? what you wanted to be yours, just made it mine. So don't you lock up something that you wanted to see fly. Hands awful shaking, no, not dying, no, not dying. I sure don't mind a change. I fell on black days. I fell on black days. How would I know that this could be my fate? How would I know this could be my fate? Sure don't mind a change. I'll play you a song. It's not an easy one, man. I mean, it's the same thing on the guitar to play, but it's hard to sing that bitch. Holy shit. While you're playing it. It's challenging. Quite challenging. Anyway, I hope you guys liked that. You know, let me know in the chat if you liked it. And that'd be nice to hear from you guys if there's anybody in the chat. Is there anybody in the chat? No. Oh, Edwin Sparks loved it. 420. Thank you, Edwin. Someone loved it. Yes. Thank you. Very nice, sir. Thank you, Josh G. Billy Bark Thornton. Oh. You guys liked it? You always like when I play? Oh, thanks. So she said, have I got a little story for you, yeah. What she thought was your daddy, nothing but a fool. While she was sitting home alone at age 13, your real daddy was dying. That's even flow in drop D. That's pretty cool. Train, train, take me on out of this town. Train, train, take me on out of this town. You know that midnight train, man. You know it ain't slowing down. Ah. Man, what was that song that I was watching on? This is all drop D. Sweet emotion. Talk about things that nobody cares. Wearing out things that nobody wears. Calling out a name, but I gotta make clear. Can't say, baby, where I'll be in a year. Some smooth talking mama with a face like a jet. Get up and go, must have got up and went. Got good news, she's a real good liar. With the backstage loving, set your pants on fire. Yes, you do. Uptown in a police car. Your daddy said you took it just a little too far. I don't know. That one part. Standing out front, just shaking your ass. Said you didn't kiss my glass. can't remember any of these words. Yes, I do. I played Aerosmith. Back when King was able, way before the stable, lightning came right down from the sky. A mothership said, hey, let's just give it a try. Conscience was created and went down from the sky. Yeah, never knowing wrong from right. Yeah, never knowing wrong from right. Right, yeah. That's a rockin' song, dude. That's a really good song. Love it. And I can't play it that good, but it's good. Why is that so hard for me to play? Wow. I'm so embarrassed I can't play this. I'm gonna fucking spice that up a little bit. Terrible, dude. I'm just murdering shit with my guitar. No, this doesn't pay me because I'm awful. You're right. Cheeseburger Steve is correct. Steven Tyler doesn't even know what he said. Okay, I'm done. You guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye. I'm at Nays Garden on Twitter. I'll see you guys there.